Please welcome Germán Rena Carmona.
All right. Yeah, I wish I had a Vive specialist as well, but anyway, let's see. So, hey everyone, my name is Germán. I'm a visual artist from the Canary Islands, and mostly I work as a concept artist for video games. I started my journey from painting graffiti and not knowing that concept art even existed, to this point where I have created all the art for a video game. And anyway, I envy animators because the way that you have to show your work, it's so alive and full of energy. And we have saw that with catnips. But anyway, it's something that I have tried from time to time. And here's a short animation that I want to show so you know me a little bit more. Let's see. Should I press something or? Yeah. You did. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
No.
Okay, we're enough, I hope. Oh, not again. Yeah, no worries. So this is an example of the kind of illustrations that I was making when I was starting as a freelance artist, and I got attention to some art directors thanks to this small project called Meaningless Adventure that I put on my art station. And yeah, I feel so fortunate because now I have the opportunity to work with some studios in very exciting projects, just applying the ideas and style from my personal work. So let's just jump into OlliOlli World, which a game that maybe some of you have already played in the exhibition. This is just an incredible project where I have worked with a lot of amazing and super creative people, where I received an incredible opportunity to have a lot of creative freedom to add my artistic view to this game. And this is thanks to Paul Abbott, the art director of the game, who for some reason just trusted me to go crazy with the game. Anyway, OlliOlli World. This is a 2.5D side-scrolling skateboarding video game. And it combines platforms and skateboarding tricks while you travel through the different biomes in Ratlandia. These biomes were created by the skate gods, and these are the final character designs that I deliver for these characters that you meet in the main game. And this is the design that I made for the map that you will see in the game with the different biomes. Anyway, there is a lot of crazy stuff in this IP, and really not just about the visual development and the world building in this game, but just surrounding the whole thing. Like, for example, the fact that Danny Trejo was involved in the marketing strategy. Like, yeah, that's a prop that you can unlock in the customization item menu. He was even added as a character inside the game. Or the game has also released 2 DLCs, which just expand the world of this IP. We also have the amazing 2D animated trailer made by 220 Studio, which is just an amazing short film by itself. Yeah, and also the game has won a TIGA award for visual design. I don't know if it's TIGA or TIGA for visual design, and a DICE award for best sport video game of 2022, and just more good stuff about that. But anyway, let's just talk about visual development. Yeah, and professional concept art, I guess. Which, yeah, by the way, this is a onesie that this is just an example of the ideas that I was trying to propose for the game. Anyway, yeah, they trusted me for some reason. So, like, what I want to talk about today is I want to share some concepts from the first OlliOlli World DLC, which is called Void Riders. Because I have already shared everything from the main game, on Instagram, and in my YouTube channel there is a very long talk about the main game. So yeah, and I also think that this DLC is the best part of the IP. Like, we made the wildest things here, and so yeah, this is a great opportunity to share a couple of things for the first time. Which, by the way, I made this massive key art for the marketing team, and it's just massive. It's huge, and it has stuff hidden behind the layers to be able to animate it and have parallax and stuff like that. So this was part of my responsibilities, building this world, and not just making concepts and designs for the game, but yeah, storyboarding, just creating marketing stuff, more things. So first, to put you a little bit in context, this is the trailer for the Void Riders DLC. Yeah, let's see if I can. Okay.
The citizens of Radlandia are accustomed to the fantastic and the spectacular, but nothing could prepare them for this. Coming this summer, the game critics have called a candy-coated dream. Blisteringly good, gorgeous, and goofy, OlliOlli World gets its first far-out expansion. The Void Riders have landed, bringing fantastical new areas to shred. It's a close encounter of the Void kind. Skate me to your leader. OlliOlli World, Void Riders. Available now.
Thank you. So yeah, the process for the visual development was quite straightforward. I was lucky enough to work closely with Lizz Lunney, the narrative designer in OlliOlli World, who basically built and gave shape to this crazy world. And we had a great creative process where basically I read Lizz's writing, and then I explored ideas, trying to expand the possibilities. So before designing anything, I check her writing first to get some context and descriptions for side code NPCs, main characters, biomes in the game, basically everything. And from that, and some cool references gathered by Paul, the art director, and Liz, I just start exploring. So let's begin with some characters. And these are the Void Riders, and this is the crew that you encounter in this DLC. And this is the final design page that I delivered for them. So yeah, for this type of concept, the first thing that I did was to read Liz's page for the character descriptions. This type of writing for main characters included context of the characters and relation with other characters and places in the world, taste and interest, a small bio, physical descriptions, and just possible props and clothes that they could wear. So after this, I checked the reference board that I mentioned before, and yeah, I went right away to draw. So the next step was to produce a page like this one for each of the characters. And this was my first approach, but anyway, the process was super simple because from this page, we chose one of the bodies, one of the heads. I just adjusted the details, like the clothing patterns, and just added final colors, and really that was it. Super quick to, a very simple process for that. And this page is for the character in the middle. Never mind the names, because I think for some reason I messed up with those. But yeah, anyway, with this kind of main character for the game, I was going for very specific designs that was planned with the team. But then there are this type of NPCs that you will encounter, that you only will see in the background of the game, and you don't really interact with. And for this type of NPCs, the design was really just a matter of seeing what they came out with without much context. And for this DLC, these are the characters I'm talking about. Like, you will see these weirdos in the background. So yeah, just look at the one with the tentacles and the wings, because I'm going to show how it looks in game. And this is an example of how it was translated into 3D for the game. As you can see, like, the game doesn't have a lot of details, so I had to focus on easy to read silhouettes. There is also the fact that you move quite fast in this game, so yeah, like, I had to think about just simple designs to really be able to see anything here. And for this kind of character, what I did was to create a lot of pages like this, where I just try to play around with the shape of the characters and proposing weird and simple ideas. And from this and a couple more pages, we basically just chose a few NPCs that we needed for the backgrounds. Yeah, and there you go. We have these 4 weird guys. Yeah, so like, there's no mystery around the process here. I just try to draw weird shapes and see if the team wanted to add it to the game. But anyway, like, now that we're talking about background NPCs, in the main game we have some humans populating this world, alongside with some other weirder characters. For this expansion, like, we use these human NPCs and we switched their heads in order to fill the background with even more aliens. And one of these heads was inspired by this helmet. This Aurora, she's one of the members from the Meltas crew in the main game. And I don't remember who or why, but someone had the idea of using this helmet to shape one of the alien heads, and this is the final design that they came out with. Yeah, just an example of how weird character development could get into this project. Yeah, like, now I want to switch briefly. Like, sorry, there's a lot of stuff that I want to share about the DLC and another thing. So now I want to switch briefly into environment design for this DLC, because I had a different approach here. And also, we didn't have a lot of time to explore, and I had already like a clear idea about how these levels, these environments could be. And also, there are some levels in this expansion where we reused some existing levels from the main game and readapted them for the DLC. So anyway, I had to design some parts of how the Void levels could be, but the Void is basically another planet in this DLC. Yeah, like, I was looking for very organic shapes, just different. Like, I was trying to produce a lot of elements to give to the environment team, so they had stuff to populate the environments. Like, this exploration page, for example, is for some kind of weird alien village, and I was trying to explore, yeah, how this could look like, and just creating street props and stuff like that. So for the environments, I was just drawing a lot of pages like this, just giving different options for the environment team. Or this other page, for example, with some plant, well, I don't know, vegetation, some weird vegetation. I even added like different frames to see how some of these plants could be animated, and different VFX to be added to them, and different ways of combining these elements. So yeah, like, I think that my goal here was just trying to explore and give options and ideas to the environment team for them to choose what they thought it was right, and yeah, and build the levels. Yeah, as I mentioned, like, this DLC adds even more crazy stuff to the game. We have more items for the customization of your character, which is something that I mentioned before, and is such an important aspect of this game. Like, we had new decks, for example, and these are the ones that I designed for the Void Riders, the crew that I showed you before. And I used the characters as inspiration, and I just tried some weird ways of implementing themselves into their own skateboards. So if you play the DLC, you can unlock these ones for your own character. Or we have the cow onesie. Yeah, these are the ideas that I proposed at first. I was, yeah, but anyway, like we went for this one. Anyway, sorry. When I'm delivering a first page with designs, I'm always trying to propose like different and weird ideas to see how we can play around with a shape and find a different way of showing something. But because of some technical restrictions, we went for this one. And we had to adjust the shapes of the suit to the character's human body. So this is how it looks in game. I know, I think it still looks pretty weird, so I guess that's good. And yeah, before moving on from talking with OlliOlli World, I wanted to close telling a short story about this guy. His name is Bridge Guy. Yeah, you will find him hiding in the backgrounds of the levels while you play. And this is just like the weirdest character development ever, because Bridge Guy, he was nothing. He was just an awful doodle in one of my initial concepts. And this is a crop from a big page of sketches that I made at the beginning of the production. And yeah, someone found this guy hiding there, and for some reason that I just can't explain, so potential on Bridge Guy. Well, so potential on him. He wasn't Bridge Guy yet. So yeah, like Alex Williamson, an environment artist in the game, just decided to model Bridge Guy, and he started adding Bridge Guy to the levels. And yeah, Alex didn't know it, but he was just creating a monster. And soon there was a rule inside the production that said, just one Bridge Guy per level, please. Yeah, I mean, producers really love that. So now, yeah, anyway, now after a couple of years of Bridge Guy hiding in the levels, Bridge Guy in internal memes that we had at the studio, Bridge Guy made it, and now he's a onesie in the game. So yeah, you can carry him through the levels. And if you have already played the game, and if you have unlocked this onesie, you probably have no clue about what was going on here. But yeah, I know, I guess that you do now, or yeah, there you go. And here's the cat onesie game, just because I don't know how to close this. But anyway, we got to the end of OlliOlli World. This game was an amazing experience, a success. We learned a lot, and I got to meet a lot of amazing and super creative people. But anyway, we have talked about what's been already done, but what the hell is going on now? And now I have a very exciting project to share, because I have joined forces with Lizz Lunney, which I mentioned that Lizz Lunney is the narrative designer in OlliOlli World. And after working together in this game, we had a great time building that IP. And we saw potential in each other's work. So we also saw that we had like the same creative goals. So we have joined forces to build an IP together. And yeah, so we're developing Megalith, which this project basically is an epic adventure that follows the journey of two best friends as they sail across the 7 fantastical islands of Megalith. Primarily planned as a graphic novel, the experiences of the main characters, Skit and G, which, by the way, these are Skit and G. These are the designs that I've made for them, and will travel with us through this journey. So yeah, as I was saying, like the experiences of the main characters demonstrates how things from the long gone past can still affect every one of us. Their journey is a healing story for times, told via the lens of a refreshing and humorous world. This story is based on our own experiences, and it has roots in ancient Ireland and the Canary Islands. And it's weaving together like inspiration from folklore, tradition, and magic. So, according to the legend, Megalith is made up of seven really big stones, buried in the sea from ancient times. Some say that that's where the islands got their name, Mega meaning giant, and Lith, which means stone. These famous islands include Great Megalith, and the main islands where Skid and G live, and 6 smaller islands. We want this world to feel magical and epic, so these are 2 examples of the concepts that I'm making for the project. These are for a couple of specific locations, and this image right here, and this other one. So this is also like a different way for me to produce concepts for an IP that are also close to final illustrations, and where at the same time I can add some very weird designs, I hope. And yeah, anyway, as we work on this graphic novel, we are sharing our progress and behind-the-scenes concept art, research, writings on Patreon. So yeah, like, sorry, this is the second ad probably after the trailer. So yeah, like, you can support the development of this project by joining one of the tiers designed to allow you to explore this weird world. So yeah, as I mentioned, we will be sharing there the development of this story, and from time to time we will be releasing some things in our socials as well. But yeah, today I want to share some things about the visual development that I'm making for the project. So I want to present you Skipjack, who runs the boat yard in Pebble Rock Bay. This is the character that the protagonists encounter at the beginning of their journey to get their boat, which, by the way, this is the boat that they will take. Yeah, the project will be full of weird boat designs. But anyway, I want to talk briefly about the process to get to this final concept for Skipjack. First of all, I like to make these exploration pages where I draw anything that crosses my mind, or I draw what I find cool about the specific subject. Maybe I'm going for something like this, where there's just a mix of different elements, which may be useful in another moment for the project, or I do other kind of pages like this one, where this is for environment, but the basic idea is the same. In this case, I was just exploring lighthouses, which is something very specific, but still I was trying to add weird ways of playing around with the shapes and the idea of a lighthouse, so I wasn't working with a close reference, let's say. But this is the exploration page as a starting point for this character, Skipjack. And I made this one to explore random creatures and different characters that could populate this world. And Liz saw the circle one, and she thought that that could fit Skipjack's description. So after this, my next step was doing another round, just focusing on this specific character and his personality. So I made this page with a couple more options. Number 2 is almost the same one from that last page, but still, I added another 2. But in the end, we agreed that number 2 would fit better another character in the project, and we went for number 2 as a Skipjack. So still, I wasn't fully convinced, so after this page, I made this. So I refined the shapes of the character, added final color, another pose to see the volume of the character. Yeah, it was ready to go for the pages. Which, by the way, like, I added that weird nest prop because I read a scene from Lizz's script where a half-drunk Skipjack talks to some seagulls, and yeah, I just thought that it could be cool to add like a prop to emphasize this moment and to show this side of his personality. And these are a couple of example pages. And the one on the left has the line art finished, and the one on the right is just a rough page, playing around a little bit with Skipjack shapes, depending on what he's doing. And this is another example of how a finished page might look like. We're still exploring different ways of using the line art and color and so on for the final pages. Anyway, we got to the end of this talk, and this last project is in process. So if you're curious or you want to know more about this, just check our socials, or don't hesitate to approach me after the talk. I would love to have a chat. Yeah, thank you to the lovely Pictoplasma team for the invitation, and of course, thank you so much for your time.